Okay, we're here with Jamie at the car show. He's got his Galaxy 500, correct?
Yes.
What year was that?
It's 1963 and a half.
So how did you get into classic cars?
Well, that's actually a long story. I started out when I was a little guy. My dad got a 65 Mustang when I was probably about 12. I thought it was going to be my car. Of course, worked lots of hard weekends on it and turned out too nice. And my dad was like, this car is not going to be a teenager's car. So that's the black one that's hiding over there next to my Galaxy also. So I built that in the 90s with my dad, and then we moved on to the always enjoying car shows and cars together. And then I'm like, hey, I want to do something new. Let's get crazy. So yeah, the Galaxy is a little more advanced than the Mustang, so that's where we decided to go.
Oh, nice, nice. So tell us about your car.
So originally, the best Galaxy you could get that is ultra rare is the 427 R code. Mine was originally a 390. We had a 428. It was like, man, you can really make this car a lot like that 427 original. So I tried to do an R code knockoff with a 428. The emblems are there. I got the 427 cast exhaust that they had originally. Pretty rare item to get your hands on. And now I've advanced it to the dual quads on it too. So it's pretty close. It's pretty close.
All right.
But I mean, even its ID badge 390 XL Galaxy's a pretty nice car too. So I just tried to step it up a little bit and have some fun with it.
Right. So how long have you had that?
So I believe we got that in probably 2012. I drove it as a driver Brought it to car shows. The interior was kind of old, the paint was all faded, but I enjoyed the car. Tried to drive it around for maybe a couple years, doing here's and there's, little fixes, and then my dad said, let's do this for real. So then we dove in, and it's pretty much a full restoration. We did not take it frame off, but everything else is refurbished or brand new.
Oh, nice, nice. Got any crazy experiences with your cars, or?
Really, that thing I've been pretty mild with because it's so nice. I try to keep it easy going. I don't get too wild driving it. Didn't have any crazy accidents, construction accidents or anything like that. The paint was a little bit of an issue. You know, you get one part done and then the other part isn't quite done. So getting that managed, I think managing the build was probably the crazy experience. You know, you get a week time frame, and then it turns into a month, and then it turns into 2 months. I think that's common for a lot of builders, but I'd say management, really, it sounds kind of weird, but management was the craziest endeavor, because you set out to do something in a year, and all of a sudden it turns into 2 years, and you're like, where'd the time go? So, but when you're doing a car like that, you know, patience. You know, waiting for the right guy, waiting for the right scenario. You know, the trim is something that I would very say is a crazy or interesting experience. Any Galaxy you see has dings in the trim. I mean, it's basically what it's a door guard. You know, you don't want your body to get hit, so the trim acts as a door guard. So they all have dings in them. They all have anodization is worn out. So finding somebody, tracking somebody down that has the original tooling to straighten out the trim, that's the compliments besides the color of the paint that I get the most is, wow, your trim is amazing. So, you know, very expensive, but well worth it because it's the crown jewel to the whole car. So
how do you go about tracking someone down for something like that?
Yeah, you know, even at that time, so we were probably by 2015 when we were starting to look that down, it's still word of mouth. I'd say those old timers that are into that craft aren't in social media, aren't on YouTube, are not, you know, I'm sure you could track it down, but at that time we were having a hard time. It was word of mouth. We finally found a guy that had done some trim replacement. Hey, you got a number? We call the guy, do you have Galaxy? He says, I have the original Ford tooling. I can run that right down my stuff. But again, you know, you send it to him thinking you're going to get it back in a couple months, and here it is 6 months, 8 months later, and but when we got that load, you pull out that bumper that's out there and it's straight as an arrow and the beautifulest chrome you ever seen. Good trim makes a car. Very cool. It really does.
You were mentioning something about you were starting a club.
Yeah, Nukesville. That's us. We've been me and my friend, also cars over there, have been knowing the name for a long time. He's been in California. He's a pinstriper in California. He was born and raised here. Always wanted to come up and do this with me. So we're really trying to push it hard now. So Nukesville Car Club is our car club. We also have some designs, some t-shirts, stuff like that. Hopefully to come.
So it's all classic cars?
Yeah, you kind of wanted to lean and stay towards classic cars. Kind of been discussing back and forth, and you know what people bring to you is maybe how you evolve. So right now we have a large, or at least a moderate collection of classic cars between me and the friends and group that we have together. So that's the way we're leaning now, but you never know what the future will bring.
Oh, nice. Nice. Well, thank you so much for the interview. We appreciate it.
Glad to do it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Glad to have the interest.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.